Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am going to be doing a little voiceover of my little Sims build. I am actually very excited because I am a simmer, old-time simmer, because been playing The Sims since the first one. I actually played the first Sims at my friend's house, like my bestie, and then afterwards when The Sims 2 came out, I got an opportunity to own the game. So I was actually very excited and it's one of my favorite. And I have been building houses ever since. I do play the game. I do love playing and but not even an but I do love building houses more. I just love the opportunity to style everything in the game. So that's technically what I want to do. I want to show you guys a couple of things that I have styled in this game. And I hope you guys enjoy this because this is actually kind of fun to do. I haven't played The Sims in a while, and I just decided to sit down and do different kind of content because sometimes when you do art for such a long time, it does get a bit frustrating because eventually don't have a lot of things to create. And I believe that with doing this, I will have more time to be more creative because I'm literally doing something else and something that I also love doing, which is playing The Sims. And this house, I envisioned it as it's a small home for a one sim or maybe a couple, depends on what you guys decide what it is. I wanted it to be a smaller home with just one bedroom, a large bathroom, and small living room, kitchen, and a dining area. And I actually got the inspiration for the dining area from an apartment I used to live here. It wasn't that small, but when you opened the living room, like when you walked into the house, the first thing you saw was like the dining room table, and then the living room. And then I was like, okay, I want to do something like that, but I want to try something else. So like I said, I haven't played The Sims in a really long time. And when I got back, I saw that I could do a whole bunch of things with The Sims, and I got really excited. And I really wanted to implement some new things. So I put the living room in a lower level, and later on I do put the room in a upper level again because I didn't want it to have like a little balcony where you can like look over the side and look downstairs. Sometimes you just don't want to socialize so much, but you just look and it's like, okay, I can go downstairs, it's cool. And I wanted it to have like a big window view, but I didn't want it to be like just that flat thing. I actually wanted something a bit different, a bit modern. And I went looking and I was like, I didn't really find a lot of things that I wanted, but I did like the whole triangular kind of thing going on. So that's why I decided to put the roof that way and just use it as a giant window. I do change it up a little bit afterwards because it wasn't styling the way I wanted to. Here I was going to make the dining area a bit bigger so I would have a bit more room, but then I was like, no, I want it to be small. I am keeping it with the plan. This is the size of the house. This is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to follow that. So that's technically what I started doing. I leveled the house up a little because I wanted to use a big door, but I didn't really want to go too crazy. You do see me changing the lighting a little because I kind of like looking at how the house is gonna look at every hour in the game. So I do kind of change it from day to night. So just giving you guys a little heads up. Sometimes I do the outside of the house and I already start building it from the inside out after I do that, because I have this thing that sometimes I will start building the inside of the house and I'm like, oh wait, this doesn't really look aesthetically pleasing, or it doesn't really match what I'm doing, so let me change everything. So I ended up changing a whole bunch of things. But on this one, I forced myself to keep the size of the house the way it was and only changing a bit of the aspects of the outside, because I wanted it to be like, oh, this is either like I said, this is either a single person or a couple living here. You know, they have this cute little house. It's very well decorated. It's really cute. They can either like gardening, or you can change it up later. I do put like little gardening pots at the afterwards as well. I was gonna put a cherry tree. I was trying my hardest to make the cherry tree fit, but to give it even like more life, but it didn't work. So yeah. I realized that a lot of people, not only me, have a problem with putting windows in the kitchen. So I went with a very crazy moment with I put the stove right next to the window. I actually really enjoy doing that because I don't know, I feel safer with it. You know, if something happens, you can just open the window and we can blow out the fire from the stove. But yeah, if that could happen. But if it was a life-saving moment, that would be good. And I kind of tried to make the bottom floor very orangey. It's a bit orangey, like most of the furniture that I chose was very orangey. I'm not gonna lie, I did try to fit a fireplace into this. I was trying so hard. I was very stubborn about it, but I decided not to. It didn't work in the end, and it wouldn't look good, so I decided not to. But at the top part of the house, the colors kind of change a bit. I do make it a bit like pastel-y pink, though the bedroom doesn't really look that way, because I think it's mostly because of the lighting of the upper room. It kind of looked a bit baby blue, but it still looked really nice because all the colors were like very light. So I just went along with all of that. Like the walls were like it's like pastel-y pinky at the top, but then I just made it like very light. Well, the fun part is I don't enjoy putting wallpaper or any kind of paint in the walls when I normally do houses, because it's so frustrating to pick a color and then stay there and like it. But I actually liked what I did. I love clutter. So I will be putting a lot of clutter everywhere. I think I took most of my time building this house was literally putting in a lot of clutter and making sure everything looked the way I wanted it to, especially in the kitchen. I wanted to put a little bit more things, but then I remembered that we just need a little counter so our Sims can cook for themselves. And I do put clutter on top of the fridge because I believe like every home has fridge clutter, right? Or is it just here? I literally wanted to put clutter almost everywhere. It had to have like at least a bit of clutter just to make everything happy. On this wall from the dining room table, I wanted to make it a bit like happy. It's something that I would technically put on the wall because I'm a very nerdy person, so I kind of ended up choosing a couple of things that really would be a bit like, oh, you know, this person likes action figures, or they just love aesthetic things, cool aesthetic things. That's how I'm gonna go with it. It's like cool aesthetic things. And I just used the little clutter shelf to help out with all of that because I really enjoyed just decorating. I think the fun part about building this was the decorative part. I don't think I've ever enjoyed decorating this much. in such a long time, and I just went with it. I was gonna put more art on this wall in the living room wall, but I thought it was gonna be a bit too much, and I just loved that art piece. In the living room area, I did just put the standing lamps because I thought it was so pretty. Just that dim, cozy feeling of I'm in the living room, I'm either gonna watch a movie or I'm going to read a book. That's how I like my living rooms. Very cozy. I do end up putting another standing lamp on the other side because I was gonna maybe put more lighting, but then I was like, no, just a standing lamp looks so pretty. So I just kind of ended up leaving it with that. And I put curtains because even though this is The Sims, my mind did go into the real world and I was like, we need curtains. We still do need curtains in this game. Because I found out that there is a vampire that stalks you. So we need curtains. We do need a lot of curtains. And I do love vampires, but we do need a lot of curtains. So I kind of put a lot of curtains. I did only afterwards. I ended up putting a curtain in the dining room area. So I probably will have more. I'll probably show that like later on. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. On the outside, I don't think I worked enough on the outside. I think my brain was more on the decorative side of the inside of the house because I actually liked the way it ended up turning out because there was enough floral. There was a lot of things. But as I said, I am going to upload this to my gallery. So if you guys do want to end up like using this in your game, you can. So feel free to do that as well. So just letting you know. Yeah, I was actually pretty happy with the decoration inside the house, and I was starting to put in like the floor tiles and everything. On the outside, I kind of changed it a lot because I was just all over. I didn't know if I wanted to put stone. I didn't know what I wanted to do on the outside of the house. I do eventually end up figuring it out, but I kind of stopped for a while because I wanted to focus on the inside of the house because I think that the moment that I finished the inside of the house, I was just like, okay, all I have to do now is focus on the outwards of it, and let's do this. We can do this. We can finish it. I think I tried to do like the same thing I did in the front with the little balcony in the backyard. It wasn't going, and I took like 5 hours to do this. I separated it into like 2.5 hours, like for 2 days. So I took my sweet time doing this house. It's small. I love it. It looks so cute, and I just love the little balcony at the top. Okay, so here's the thing. I love balconies. There must always be a balcony in a house. And I love building houses with balconies. If I don't have a house with a balcony, I'll probably have, I don't know, I will figure something out, but I normally do like houses with balconies. I do end up changing the window, as I said in the beginning, because afterwards, I decided to put the window like forward so I could have more room to place a wardrobe at the side of the room, because it was just like one tile and the wardrobe wasn't fitting. I knew the wardrobe was not going to fit, so I decided to move that little tile in, but still leave a little balcony area so you can see like the bottom part of the house and everything. But I actually really enjoyed this window. I do think I should have put a curtain. I would have put a curtain there, but I thought it was going to be too much, and I eventually just left it without the curtain. I mean, it still looks good, but I think with the curtain it would have given it a little bit more pizzazz. But I'm I'm still a bit hectic. I don't know. I'm still thinking about that if I should have put the curtain or not. But if you guys do want to put a curtain later on, no, it's up to you guys. I don't really mind. I think I left it the way it is because it. I kind of liked it. I was gonna put the bed a bit like to that little corner on the side, but then I was like, a bed near that dangerous little hole in the middle? No. I wouldn't feel safe. I would probably wake up in momentums. I think I like playing The Sims because most of the times I just use it as a way of how would I build my house or how would I decorate my house, and I would be extremely picky. I decided to go with a nice little 10,000 Simlons PC. I mean, this lot it's small, but I thought it was a bit pricey. I think it's because I decorated it in such a fancy way because it was pretty. It was pretty, and I like the colors. And is it me, or are the base game pack things way more expensive than the other packs? I kind of feel like it is, but I could be just having a weird moment. Okay, so I am adding the curtains to this little window next to the desk because I don't know if you guys are like this. I actually like having a desk near a window, and since I didn't put the desk like right near the little balcony I did in the room, I decided to just put like a little window next to it to have even more light in this window. I had a problem with the curtains. I couldn't get a curtain I liked, and then the curtain that actually fit where I wanted it wouldn't go, and it was crazy. And then I just opted for another curtain that was a bit transparent. I don't really think I would put like a little transparent curtain when I would probably get dressed on the other side, but it's The Sims. It's cool, right? Right? I mean, it's not every day you get to build houses. So I took my time to do this, and I actually found it very fun. And I love the outcome. I'm still a bit, I don't know, I still have a little problem with the whole landscaping. I don't know, I didn't really enjoy the way I did it, but my favorite part is the inside. I just love decorating the inside of the house. I think for the landscaping, I'm gonna do a couple of research, and I'm gonna Pinterest it, make my Pinterest go really crazy, finding out some awesome landscaping for the house. But I really enjoyed just furnishing everything and just decorating, even though I don't really like painting the walls because I normally get tired of the paint I put or something. I really like the way I decorated the entire house, even the wall paintings. I loved how I made this bathroom. I wanted it to be big, but I didn't want it to have like this crazy thing, you know. It's just because this could be a one person house. It could be like two people max, and I really enjoyed it. I think I think I could have put like another bedroom. I could have made another bedroom, but it wasn't really what I was wanting. You know, it's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to build this and have fun, and I just enjoyed it. I even put a little dryer and a washing machine in the bathroom just to put like everything there and just have something fun and cozy. It's all in one place so you don't get crazy. I did put a little magazine basket near the toilet because I don't know if a lot of you guys have this, but I know that I normally have this. I like to read. I don't really like taking my phone to the bathroom. I like to read. I've been guilty of sitting in the toilet for like a really long time with a book in my hand. So it's a calm, peaceful place to read, I guess. If you're like that, please tell me down below, or is it just something weird, or some weird place that in my mind it feels comfy, but I like to do that. I decided to place the mirrors, like big mirrors there, because at first I was a bit, you're taking a dump and you're looking at yourself in the mirror. It's kind of weird, but in the end, it was the only mirror that I actually liked, so that's kind of what I went with. I had a really crazy moment when I was decorating this part of the house. And that reason was, I'm talking about the wardrobe. And it was simply because I put some clutter on top of the wardrobe, and then when I scaled up, I just went up to the ceiling. You could see the clutter on top of the ceiling, and I was like, no, we can have this here. We really cannot have this here at this moment. There's gonna be a part here in the video that you're gonna see where I actually realized that, and I just end up taking it out. And mostly bathrooms, I love having clutter in the bathroom, like perfume and makeup. I just like knowing where all of my things, where everything I want to use is at. And I love the whole having a shower if you want to take a quick shower, or if you just want to relax and take a long bath. I didn't really know where I was going to put the extra shelf in the side of the bathtub, because I had this thing where my brain again went into, the faucet and everything. No one sits to that side, just plain and simple. And I wanted to put the shelf on the other side so I could put some cute little candles. But then I was like, you know what? Don't do this. I could just imagine the sim falling, because I've heard you have some crazy deaths now. This is how long I haven't played this game. So I literally saw a video about 100 ways to die in The Sims. We're already on 100 ways you can die in The Sims, and I was shocked. So at the same time I was shocked, I was kind of like, wow, this game has evolved, and I really need to see all of the ways that this could possibly go wrong. So I kind of changed it up a bit. I mean, I loved it. I made it a bit pinky because I really wanted to make it, it's pastel pink, and I liked the way it went along with the rest of the house. Also, the room is also a little shade of pastel pink. It's very light, whilst the bottom half of the house is this pastel orange, very light, and then at the top it's also very light. And I actually did really enjoy the shade, even though the room looks a bit blue, which I actually find it so calming. I actually loved it a lot, and I found it so calming. It was actually fun. The roof was one of the funnest things I actually had to do. I didn't really know what I was going to do with the roof, the entire build. That's why I normally leave it last, because if I don't like it, I will technically abandon the entire lot. But I actually really enjoyed making the roof, and it was something different. It wasn't something that you see nowadays. It's actually very modern. So I like modern architecture, so I really enjoyed making this entire thing. And after this, I'm actually going to start finishing up on the outside with the landscaping and everything, which I normally do at the end, but I'm kind of forcing myself to do it in the beginning. I'm on another build, which will be coming out next week. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. I know my channel is an art-based channel, but I actually do want to do like gameplays because I love playing and I love art, and I wanted to put something extra for my channel content, so I could like declutter my brain a bit from trying to focus so much on just the creating art aspect. So I decided to do something that I love, which is playing The Sims. So I'm going to be putting a little gameplays, or basically, I think at the beginning it's just gonna be me building houses and then later on I'm going to be probably doing a couple of gameplays, so I'm pretty much gonna try and keep up with like kind of that momentum and everything. But I will see, because if I don't 100% do a gameplay, I'll probably just do a live stream and I'll play. But I just really want it to be something a little bit extra, especially right now in my life. I need some fun, so this is actually fun for me. So I'm really diving into this extra content, you know, always focusing on what you want, but having a little bit of extra content just to live happily. Here I had a really long process of what I was going to do with the plant pots, because as I said in the beginning, I wanted this to be like very friendly. I wanted them to be like Sims that want space to plant and everything, but I didn't really like the way it was looking at the back. And then I eventually deleted the cherry tree, which I tried my hardest to fit in, but I don't know, it didn't look right. I think just the big green tree looked better than all of this, so I just put I copied the tree that I originally have on the left and I just added it, and I just made it a bit bigger and I just added it there. But I did end up putting all the little pot plants in front because I thought it would be better because there's like a lot of space. So I just made it and then just put it all in front, so your sim could just, you know, garden. Like I grew all my little gardens, so I put it on both sides of the house and I left the back part open, so like, oh, if you want to put more pot plants or do something more decorative as well, you guys can as well. So here I'm putting the finishing touches. I'm just adding more of little pot plants and I'm technically done. You guys are gonna see the little slides for the pictures, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and thank you so much for watching it until now. See you guys next Saturday for another Sims build. Bye guys!